This is Fictional Problems, the podcast where we discuss all things writing, in association with Speculative Fiction Ireland. On today's episode, we'll discuss writing groups. We talk about the positives and negatives of being part of one, and we discuss the potential benefits or potential problems which can occur within these writing groups. Join us. And welcome back to Fictional Problems, the podcast where we discuss all things writing with myself, Gary J. Martin, and
Alan McNevin, even Aor McNevin.
Professional. Your professional pseudonym is Aor, or
yes,
Aor McNevin.
Did I tell how that got made? I think so. Yeah, it's if I haven't already, it's the pirate story.
So previously we were talking about maybe touching on the subject of, well, we were talking about constant rejection at the end of the last episode.
Near constant
rejection. Sorry. And I think what we wanted to get into today was discussing writing groups, kind of social media writing groups, not necessarily all social media, but like local community.
Yeah, all kinds, yeah.
Just, groups of fellow writer friends, such as ourselves.
Sure. Well, this is the thing. So there is many strata of writing groups that I've been part of over the years. I imagine you're somewhere similar.
Yeah, would be.
So I guess let's see if we can compare and contrast, and we can come to a not a conclusion, but a current perception of them. Of the top to be positive at the top.
Yeah,
we have established a nice, mutually rewarding, based on a pre-existing friendship.
Yes,
that so we're happy to support one another.
Yes, indeed.
We
writer friends,
exactly, and we do this podcast. We have successfully. We have the records have been successful
insofar as the technical equipment has worked to record it.
Last time, mostly, almost mostly.
To be mostly honest.
So, and we are free to say what we want to the other.
Yeah.
So that's a positive. It is. I think that's where I think that the online and indeed in person groups kind of fall down, because as I mentioned before, I have a thing about writers writing about writing. Talking about writing is people getting up and reading their stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about kind of the in-person ones,
like book clubs.
Book clubs are
sort of.
No, book clubs would be people who are reading someone else's stuff.
Okay, of course.
A writers group of a group of people who are writing their own stuff. Of the smattering that I've been a part of, or I've seen over the years, and there's many years, that there is the type that you come to meet to chat about your writing. There's those that come to meet to read what you've written, to have an immediate audience response, and then there's those you come to write together, and then have a chat about it.
Mm-hmm.
And while I see a value in the first one, I see a problem in the first one, the second one, and a deeper problem with the third one.
Okay, let's.
Problem is completely personal, but we'll see how it goes. So in reverse order, the ones where you go and this is this one's on in person, because, or I guess you can do this on Zoom too, or Teams, that you come together to write together. And while I have had situations where I've sat down with a laptop and someone else has been in the room with a laptop and you write.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing that much as about. Previously, we've talked before how it is a lonely. I think this is an artificial way to get past the loneliness of writing.
Yeah.
Because there is writers' rooms. There's previous to the pandemic, there was active writers where everyone was sitting in the same room writing away. And that can have a both positive and negative impact. And if you hear the tip-tap of other people's keys.
Yeah, you think, okay, yeah, everyone's doing some work.
But if you're not actually typing, then it's like, fuck.
Why am I not doing some work?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you have to consider that, say there may be 10 people in that room, in a writer's room, and if you are hearing tip-taps, then only maybe 4 of them may be writing, or 5 of them. But so you're comparing yourself to 9 others when you shouldn't do that. You should compare yourself to yourself at best.
And is that a danger with any of these writing groups?
Yeah,
is the comparison element.
Oh yes, yeah, that is. I guess stop jumping to the end. There is the don't compare your chapter 1 to chapter 20. Someone else's chapter 20. That someone may have been doing this for a very long time, and they may have a both experience and have calcified into bad habits. That because the reaction, if you say joined a group where there's a lot of people who have been trying to push for traditional publishing for a while, and you walk in the door and then 2 days later you get a book deal, then that shouldn't be used as you're better than, because
how welcome would you be in that group? You'd like to think, you showed up and boom, so you're there a couple of weeks and there's people there years, and next year you come in and go, oh yeah, by the way, my book's out next year. But those people, you'd like to think, but writers being who they are,
anyone
being a person in this world,
because while there is a zero-sum game when you talk about, say, self-publishing, traditional publishing, there's only so many books that are going to be bought every year.
We all like, good for you,
exactly. So, but it also, that's
slash your tires,
or worse, that there isn't but that doesn't state that book is any way better than your books. It's as after near constant rejection, the one thing I came to was that work isn't right for that person at that time. It's not a measure of quality; it's a measure of marketing.
And not only that, but it's a case of the number of different circumstances that needed to happen for that particular manuscript to be favored by a particular either agent or a particular publisher who is looking for a particular thing at that particular time. For all of these cogs to come together to like anoint a particular manuscript worthy for publishing. When you scrub away at the surface, it's that manuscript is exactly what that publisher needed or wanted in terms of what they wanted to sell, or a gap they needed to fill in their
revenue.
Right. Yeah. Or it's like a lot of different things that are so far beyond the writer's control. Need to happen, but as human beings, often other individuals in a writing group aren't going to get into the weeds on that. They're just going to go, you're published, I'm not.
And that's where it comes into the group that write together is like, okay, why are you doing that? The group that perform, and it's like, the reason why I can do this is because there's no one watching. As in, there's you and me in this room. There's no one fucking else. I'm happy to talk in front of people when I'm talking about a subject I think I'm a fan, but I'm relatively a reserved, I believe the term is shy individual. But on my specialized topics, I'll rant away happily. So
you're not going to mention fanfic.
I certainly didn't. You have an issue with fanfic?
No.
Right.
Carry on. I do. No one knows that.
No one knows that at all. No, that's the one thing that's going to be known about this. It's like, did you listen to podcast? Did you listen to that podcast? Oh yeah, the one that guy keeps ranting.
Apologies for sidetracking you yet again.
That's grand. But performance, and especially performance of, I've written this week. Okay, so do we have to know all the other chapters of that book? Because taking out of context a single chapter doesn't speak, because it is how can you say this chapter is very, very good if it's part of a longer narrative?
Because you could comment on the technical quality of it.
Yes, but even that, the technical part of it gets cleaned up before publishing.
Yeah.
There's certain aspects that, because I will need to know the existing relationship with two characters, they're going through a breakup. If I don't know the existing relationship, the impact of that story has completely. So if they've only had a whirlwind romance, or it was a one and done, kind of Saturday night fling, or
arranged marriage,
or an arranged marriage, or a marriage that's been solid for 5 years, or the breakup, you have to know the existing thing, and if that's not part of that chapter, then
what are you reading?
Exactly, and it's like even if you put a previously on, these people have been together for 5 years, okay. And then I still wouldn't need to know the data behind it. I need to know the details of, was it good 5 years? Was it bad 5 years? Have they had kids? What is it? Is their divorce or their breakup having an impact on other people in their lives? So that performative aspect is, I think, has always been problematic. And that section, and goes back to the writing groups in totality, that you always have your star, and then you have that in all groups. You have the stars around which the group is formed, and this is sports clubs. This is everything that the dynamic range is similar enough.
Yeah, well, you know why the stars are called stars. Not only are they shining bright, but they have a lot of gravity. Draws everyone to them.
And they're flaming, and they'll burn you if you get too close to them. Like I slight diatribe. I did a few improv acting classes.
Okay.
And very much I saw this dynamic play out as well. And indeed, that's the reason I went once, and I went, oh, that was grand. And I went the second time, and I saw this painted clear as day, and it was like, okay, thanks, I'm done. I don't have to.
The theatre kid is getting all the kudos.
Well, actually, there was one guy who was a professional actor, and the director of the scene, essentially, what should have been the teacher, put a newbie in this scene with him, the guy who hadn't done it before, and was feeding him lines. He didn't give the guy a chance to have a conversation.
Interpret or express.
Because this is improvisation, and he was just not given the opportunity. I was like, seriously with this. And so for someone who has been doing this for so long, it just completely rubbed me the wrong way. So, but going back to kind of writers group, that you always have the I've been published person, or I've been doing this for years. Probably, gender doesn't matter, because you can. I found it in both primary genders, and I'm quite sure if I looked for groups now, I'd find it in all smattering of genders.
Yeah,
it is a. Oh, you're great. Oh, you're wonderful. Oh, you're great. It's very much a Trump is a great kind of touchstone for this. That there's this heaping of praise, where we ask the questions of, okay, well, what about the actual text?
Yeah, is it deserved?
Exactly. So the groups that I've seen, they tend towards a single person's perception of what writing should be, and it is ironic. Which is, given that we're coming from a podcast who is we have our own opinions on this, but I think we've made it clear from the start that this is a version. This is our interpretation. Yeah. This is our path. And if people have found touchstones with it, great. If they find they're in a different path, that's absolutely great. 100%. We are not masters of all paths. Yeah. We are barely masters of our own. But that's where I think writer groups tend to fail. In a social function, and then in a helping function. Yeah. And why are you going to a writer group? Are you going for a social purpose? You're going to see, okay, because again, it's an isolated pastime or hobby or passion.
Yeah, it could be. It could be quite a worthwhile endeavor for individuals that are seeking like-minded individuals, and that's a universal truth across society in general. People try to herd and flock towards individuals who think the same as them or feel the same about something as them. Like, that's why how many we first met in a college social group. Like, it was the science fiction club.
Yep.
I like science fiction. you like science fiction? There was a notice on the wall saying Science Fiction Club is on Tuesdays or whatever. We attended, we met with another group of individuals that we could all talk about Star Trek and Star Wars and all of that stuff. Like it's a common and perfectly natural thing, I feel, for people to try and group together. I mean, you can widen it to look at the different world religions. People,
sure.
It's association, it's community, it's part belonging.
Oh, yes.
And for writers, for writers, you can be isolated, cut off an island among everyone else that you know, or all of your other friends. How many of them are interested in literature? Not all of them. How many of them are interested in writing? Fewer. How many of them have written books? Even less.
Yeah.
Or none. I think you're probably the only friend I have who has also interested in writing and has published work among my friends. So it's a case of, that's why I always welcome and love and really enjoy these times that we have when we're recording this podcast, because essentially what we are doing is putting a microphone in front of the conversations that we would be naturally having
anyway. Yes.
So it's just because we've been having these kind of chats for years. So it's a case of, hey, look, might as well record it. Someone might get something out of it.
For posterity, sure. But the I would kind of counter that slightly, that's why I used our example as a kind of upfront and kind of almost to push it aside, because we have a foundation of familiarity before we go into writing. That even if we weren't writers, we would still be chatting away about our respective loves for science fiction,
our nerdy interests,
our nerdy backgrounds. A writer's group by function or by attribute isn't that sort of group. Let's say a soccer club, you're being bound together by an activity that you must do together.
Yeah.
Martial arts are the same. You're doing it together. As much as you can do martial art on your own, you need it's far, far better when you have people of the same interests.
Yeah. But
what binds a group of writers together is the same as saying that a bunch of people who are smaller or shorter than 5 foot have together. They come from all different backgrounds, and because the writing paths are so divergent, so different, that that us meeting someone, if we founded a writing group tomorrow and had 10 people walk in the door, there would be a vast difference in backgrounds and types in whatever, and that is
10. That's optimistic.
Okay, go. 4 people walk in the door, and 2 of them are in the wrong place.
Yeah. Bob walks in the door.
Bob walks in. Fuck you, Bob. And while there is a definite kind of benefit from seeing from different points of view, there is a lacking of connection other than I happen to write. Because one thing that I also found is that there is because just as we talked about a moment ago, the calcified guys and then the new guys or girls, that it is there's also the kind of person who come in and going, I haven't written before, and looking for someone to direct them. Like I from both online and in person, there's the people who I know that they barely claim the term writer.
Sure.
That they're
thinking about it.
Yeah, like
they're good.
Well, yes, but it is the case that
they've gone that far.
Yeah. Well, no, they've had the thought of writing would be great.
Yeah.
Like I remember one person it was an online group where they said, "So I'm going to be writing this 5-book series," and the conversation was like, "Great. So what have you written before?" "Oh, nothing. No short stories. No nothing. No." So okay,
start small.
Yeah, or at least see if you might want to do it, because you're talking about a massive amount of work there.
Yeah,
because people will see it as, I write an email. Oh, an email was 500 words. Oh, I wrote it in half an hour. So I've got a typing speed of this.
Yeah. It's funny you're talking about the massive amount of work. Just reminded me of an article that I was reading. Just a quick interjection.
Sure.
This one individual, I think it was in Oklahoma or Ohio, I know they're completely different places, whereby he decided that he wanted to make a chicken sandwich from scratch.
Okay.
And this is to point out just how, like, we have no concept of just how much work goes into everything.
Sure. Okay.
Right?
No, that's good.
So he wanted to he wanted to like plow the field, grow the grain.
Oh, right. Okay. So
from scratch.
Okay. So it wasn't just baking the bread. It was
he's
milling the flour.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
He wanted to grow all the ingredients.
Right.
Raise the chicken.
Right. Kill the chicken.
But I mean, that's a lot less work and effort than
the bread.
Than the bread. Yeah.
Sure.
So ultimately, in order to have a chicken sandwich, and this is butter or mayonnaise, everything. He was making all of this from bare bones, from nothing. It took him 6 months and cost him $1,500.
Wow.
For one chicken sandwich.
Sure. That's economies of scale written for you there.
Yeah. And like, or you know, it's just it gave me, I liked it so much because it's like, no one sees, and like we were talking about, we're world building.
Yeah.
No one sees below the surface of the iceberg. No one sees just how much work goes into everything. And when you're talking about writing even a short story, there's an enormous amount of work that has gone into that. There's writing a novel, writing a sequel, writing a series, writing a trilogy.
Yeah.
The vast amount of hours spent is like, people don't see it. They just see the book, read it. That was great. It killed a few hours.
Yeah.
But if you look at how much work would actually go into that by every author that writes a book, it's just a phenomenal amount of work that goes into, not just authors, obviously, people that make anything, people that do anything, farmers, everything. Like, look around the car that you're in on the road. How much work went into?
Oh yes. There's countless symbols standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yes.
So that you are building from. Even you could go to even drill down to the point of, your stories wouldn't exist without
everyone else's.
Ones
you're drawn on.
Certain influences.
Yeah.
So there is not an infinite regress, but a regress. Like before Jameis, there was Tolkien. Before Tolkien, there was Dunsany. Before Dunsany, there was Poe. Before Poe, there was there was and that's just
Shelley, Keats, Byron, Shakespeare,
where's Lewis Carroll in that? But there is
Homer,
Homer, Shakespeare. Oh yes. So you have this litany going back into the past, but I'm quite sure that there was someone that Homer had read, or even just even the storytelling traditions at that time, that he was influenced by the plays or the stories that came to him. So there are people that
or didn't exist.
Yeah. Per se. Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. So there's a lot of work goes into. So
just to bring it back, sorry,
no,
but I just thought it was an interesting.
Oh no, that was very good. Yeah. So the purpose of the writer group of socialization of I guess I'm having a bad day writing, and everyone going there. We've all been through it.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. That
support.
But that's the level of support that. Then you have the different subtypes of the newbie, the calcified person, the person who has been just pushing and pushing and pushing for years without success, or the person who is grinding out a living, basically, who sees everyone else rise around them.
Or you have prolific producer of content versus snail space.
Yes, but and that's
even in this room.
Yes, but both are equally valid.
Yeah, that
it is a case that if you can dedicate that time, then that's grand. If you can't, then there is you can make the quantity over quality argument very easily as well. That are you producing too quickly? Are you not giving the adequate time to allow that one work to settle before moving on to the next?
In a lot of what I do, I'm reminded of Max Ehrmann's Desiderata. It's a poem whereby part of it states, "Never compare yourself to others.
Sure.
for you may become vain or bitter.
Right.
For always will there be better and lesser persons than yourself.
Yeah.
That's just part of the Desiderata, which I recommend anyone looking at. It's one of those works that are transformative, and I remember reading it first and thinking this is one of the most profound things ever. But
Sure.
yeah, that's a point that I always try and keep in mind. Never compare yourself to others.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's always going to be better people. There's always going to be people that are
better is a dangerous term.
Well,
but because
greater and lesser persons is how he describes it. But
in individual skill sets, absolutely, and individual talents, sure. But in totality, there is no one better at you than you.
Yeah.
It was the line from Oscar Wilde, be yourself, everyone else is taken.
Yeah.
And you need, we don't talk about work much. I'll make a very kind of redacted statement. There's been a lot of movement promotion wise around work, and I've been fortunate enough to be on the winning side of that. But what I've been also doing is I've been recruiting, and this means that generally you're going to have let's say 40 applicants, 10 interviewees, one successful person.
Yeah.
So that's how it stands down. So you're going to be rejecting the vast majority of the people going for a role. But from an outside point of view, if you have a large group of say 200 people and you see 10 of them being successful, you're not seeing 10 out of 200. You're seeing 10.
Yes.
And 10 is
in and of themselves.
Yeah, and you're seeing these people got success, and why you're not seeing that there's 199 people standing behind you going, why not me?
Yeah.
You're only seeing the successes.
But is that a perspective thing then?
Yes.
Because like for your and how you view the world in general, if you're seeing someone like in that scenario that you're describing from a positive point of view, you go, yes, it's possible.
Oh, absolutely.
I can do it too.
Yes.
And if you have a slightly negative view of the world, you're like, fuck, it wasn't me.
Yes.
So it's the individual writers.
But and perhaps this is a bias on my side, but I tend to think that the person who has the positive view, and I'll happily say I'm the one with the negative one, that the more positive your outlook, the better that life will be. And this is, for anyone who knows me saying this, that's an odd statement, but not because of if you're positive you'll get there. Is because you're positive you'll live the days between until you get there will be greater. Before I joined the company I'm currently with, I was in grunt level servitude for about 15 years, and in the last 5 years, as I'm going to be in the company I'm in right now, March will be 5 years, and I've been promoted 4 times in that time.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I was
straight to the moon.
I was like, one thing is, I'm pretty much not counting for my boss. The next step is the head of the department. Yeah. So it's like, Jesus Christ, I've gone up a lot.
Yeah, rocket ship.
But people see in me this advancement, and there is some who see it as positive, and some who see it as a fuck you.
There's always going to be begrudgery, though.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, the vast majority are looking at it as positive, and I have fielded many a question about how shall I proceed? How can I get? And I'm saying that do the work, do this as an. I think there's another line about success is 90% work, 10% luck. That you basically prepare yourself for that success to happen, that luck to happen. That it's simply that if I wasn't in the right place, right time, I know I wouldn't be sitting in the same chair I am now. But
in a writing group, it's a case of it doesn't make people, I don't think, more successful or less successful. It just makes the more successful person or the less successful person visible to everybody that's in that group.
Yeah.
It's like we can talk about how the internet, the globalization, like on a world scale, is like there used to be only information that stayed in one pocket of the world, and that's all it concerned, and that's all who cared about it.
Yeah,
in a writing group, if a writer, such as myself, because I'm not in any in-person writing groups, and I've never been in an in-person writing group, but that just means I can't see other individuals succeeding or failing.
Yeah.
So I have no basis of comparison. So I just have to get on with it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? So
Sure.
I don't necessarily feel like I need support to write. It would be fine as a social thing, but I have a lot of social outlook.
Yeah. You don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's great. So it is, the motivation as what you need it for is simply that you need to share a space with someone who is doing something, because while we have a foundation of, say, our fandoms and our likes, going into that writer's room, there could be people who are writing any type of fiction or indeed fact. It could be kind of a those with journalistic ideas, or kind of doing true stories,
memoir,
or kind of true crime or anything like that.
Biography.
So there could be, the topic of writing it can be a barrier, because if I remember I was in a writing room many years ago. I was in a conference in the States, and this is around when Avengers came out.
Okay,
because this guy was showing a bunch of one sheets, as in the posters, and going, what does this say to you? And so it's kind of covers and that's right. And they showed the A of Avengers, that first thing, and said, what? And I remember saying something like, "Oh, that has an effect on me." And I remember hearing this tutting sound from this woman far on the other. I looked over and she, because her focus, she was writing dramas, as in personal dramas,
sure,
which I found out later. So writing science fiction, writing fantasy, writing this stuff was so childish to her.
Zero interest.
Yeah, I think no. There's not. It was worse than zero interest. Having zero interest is fine. That is pathetic. There was contempt of these people kind of clogging up the
wasting their time,
cinema aisles,
stupid science fiction and fantasy.
Exactly. So while
that no one likes.
Exactly. What that people like. That's the thing that
no one she knows.
That they have an audience and she didn't. That sort of reaction.
Okay.
And the thing is, she doesn't. I think I clearly understand. She doesn't understand. Finding an audience is fucking hard, no matter what you're writing.
Yeah.
So that sort of even finding a group of people who all write doesn't mean you're going to find companionship or comparison, good comparison at all. So.
Do you just keep looking for the next writing group if that's the way you're inclined, or do you just kind of chuck it in and go, I'm going to do it alone?
Who knows? I every now and then I look to see if there's another writing group out there, and invariably I get, and maybe I'm being my experience have produced a negative response, so I'm preloaded, waiting for the negative to see the stereotypes.
Speaking of negative responses, I mean that can be something that happens all too often. I know we were talking about some positives and the support you could get and kind of the encouragement as well is a great thing, but flip that over and I've no doubt get individuals that are very quick to criticize, to judge.
Yeah,
if a person writes a particular way, then they think that's the way to write, and anyone that doesn't write this way is doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And they, so people that you see in these writing groups, like there's different ones on Facebook or different social media, and I have seen comments where it's like the comment is, on the piece of writing that's put up, go, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
And I mean, fair enough. You put something like that into a group, you should expect numerous different responses, ranging across positive to negative to downright insulting to extremely kind of encouraging and praiseworthy, and kind of oh, I can't wait to read this one when you're finished. This is great, and you get a lot of and thankful to say,
it could be overly positive.
It could be to do with the rules of the group.
Absolutely. Yes,
it's kind of like there's a valve. It's like opinions can go up and you can be positive and happy, and the valve closes for anyone that actually wants to speak their mind and tell the truth.
Sure.
If that's how they feel about it.
Yes, their version
of
yes,
the truth.
yes,
Yeah, not necessarily is the truth.
Yes.
But you got to admire the courage of these people that put their writing up for scrutiny.
Again, and that goes back to the person who's doing the performative side of things. Because while there is groups that encourage you to put works up, there's also groups that discourage it because it's a snapshot. It's even putting up. Say, I remember having a conversation with one person who was talking about just a blurb of their book.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, well, you can do it this way. You can basically go big, smaller. So you go, here's the world.
Yeah.
Here's the plot. Here's the person.
Here's page 1.
No, that there is you're on the blurb on the back.
Okay.
That you're structuring how you're going to describe this to the person. So you can start off, if you start off by going, this guy's doing this. It's like, okay, well then everything else you have to build before you make that statement.
Yeah.
You know, the old line of, in a world where, yes, that you have that you need to have that sort of, you need to have an establishment in a very quick way. So you establish the world, establish the plot, establish the person in that way. And that's one way of doing it. Yeah. I'm not saying this is the way. But after I was like, but we don't know the story you're writing.
Mm-hmm.
So basically he basically printed his blurb and I basically wrote it again in the format that I suggested. And then I wait for space, or say return, go. But we don't know the story you're writing.
Yes.
We have no idea if this is an accurate reflection, if your version, even or my version, is an accurate reflection of the story. Yeah. It is a reflection of what you want it to be, but not the story itself. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, can you read it? It's like, no, I'm not a reader. I'm not someone who is you're not going to find someone in this group that will willingly set their own work aside to help you get past. It is a rarity that it's like, well, shall we work together? It's like partnerships are rarely working together. Partnerships are someone working for someone else.
While there is probably nothing but good intentions by the majority of people out there, it's a lot to ask someone for free, or it's a lot to expect. To put something up and go, I need help.
Yes.
Who's going to help me for free?
Yeah.
Edit my book because I can't afford to buy to hire an editor.
Yeah.
It's like, buddy,
exactly.
I don't have the time.
Yeah, and it's not, and that can be interpreted as gatekeeping. It's like, well, don't anyone else succeed? Like, no, I want me to succeed first.
Yeah,
but I'm happy to answer questions. Because if like when someone asks a question, like say there's a recent one, so just on a online forum where it was about time travel, and one of the books I'm pretty much finished. I'll be publishing next year, has time travel in its core. And one thing I was mentioning was that in itself is a dangerous thing to do, because once you introduce from the start, it's always there. It's like the time turner.
Time travel is tricky.
Time travel is not even a genre. It is a problem in itself.
Yeah, because the thing about fans of, like, I'm a time travel fan.
I am.
I love movies and TVs about time travel. But
I imagine that most of the time they don't do time travel well.
But it's the not doing time travel well. Like that's such a problem for fans of time travel stuff.
Yes,
is that, is it a closed loop? Is it a causational? Is it like what is it?
I want to pause you there because I want to have a full conversation about that.
Oh yes, we'll have a whole episode on time travel, perhaps.
So I basically made the point of there's three types of time travel. Which is it?
Yeah.
And the person never responded to me because they were building a fantasy world. So this was fantasy and destiny. I was like, okay, if one time travel, destiny doesn't exist. If another time travel, then the character doesn't exist. Yeah. Then and I was trying to be positive, but it was like, and I even said, I'm doing this myself. I'm not an expert on this. I'm trying to do this in this book. But these are the questions that you need to ask again, as we talked about before. The idea of minimizing contrivances.
Yes.
The idea of well, this would be the best possible outcome, but I want, if it's an emotional based thing, then sure, there's a reason for it. But if you're using a structure, then you have to, when you're establishing a structure in as part of your basic world building, it's fucking tentpole.
And it'll be something to, really be interesting to get into, because it also seems like if you talk about magic systems in fantasy, or you talk about tech in science fiction, no matter what it is, if you pick one type of time travel, anyone that likes all the other types of time travel is going to hate the time travel thing that you're doing, because they're like, that's not right.
It's possible. And again, anyway, that goes back to what type of reader do you want?
Yeah.
Because there's some people who look at one type as only that type.
Yeah. But that is definitely something to get into in another time in a lot more detail. We have so much more that we could go into on writer groups.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about some of the positive aspects, some of the negative aspects. I think general thoughts, closing thoughts.
I would tend to kind of use them for what they are, which is a sharing of me, a sharing of the good times and the bad.
Yeah.
Whether it be in person or online, saying I've had a really fucking bad. I had a bad writing day. Not I have a bad personal day. I've had a bad writing day.
Yeah, okay.
They use that as kind of, because when someone else goes,
me too.
Yeah, or just they go, yeah, I've been there too. That is the social thing.
Yeah.
But for anything else, there is such a difference in writing style, writing path, that whomever is created that group, or who has risen to the star of that group, or has the gravity to pull in that group to forge it into existence, they're the ones who are going to be more marshalling. They're going to be the restricting aspect. And while they can be learned from, they shouldn't be dictated from.
Yes.
In
a similar way, and again, we'll wrap up with this, but I think writing communities and writing groups do have a place and do have a benefit, and can be really good in terms of either like the like I said, the social aspects, if it's in person, even online, that's to a slightly lesser degree, but it can still be valuable. I would just encourage people not to expect a writing group to fix your problems with writing.
Yeah, because to add the I need help ain't going to happen.
No.
Also, look at awesome I am. Those two sides.
Are
here. Look, I have this great idea. It's like, okay, I haven't seen the full story. You give an idea to 10 writers, you come out with 12 stories. So it may be a great concept and wonderful, and it may chime in your mind wonderfully. That's great. You write it.
Yeah, you can say, I can say, and it's a general statement, so it's not as true as it's going to sound if I was to go, I love writers. Yeah. I think writers are great people. Not all writers are great people, and I don't love all writers, but there's people, I believe, are generally good, and those people who write are generally good people, and they want to see other people succeed, and they I believe in the positivity of things. Yeah, I mean, maybe you don't, but I
know there's no difference. It's like saying all white people are good or all black people are good. No, they're not. It is because the compulsion to write has no connection to whether or not you are a Trump-loving fascist or a liberal-minded non-fascist, anti-fascist.
Yeah. Okay.
So that compulsion doesn't exist. So so while hopefully you only ever meet writers who are good and positive,
yes,
but they exist.
The bad ones are there.
Yeah. The egotists and just the ones who are politically problematic, they all exist.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to exist, because otherwise we wouldn't have Ayn Rand.
The writers that are there for the sheer love of writing, perhaps.
Yeah, but that's
more power to them.
you do you, bro.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there.
I said you do you, bro.
That's me. I'm gonna just quickly wrap it up. So thanks everyone for listening, and thanks Al for coming back and talking to me. in the studio.
Until next time.
And we'll have more fictional problems at some later date. And thanks, everybody. And we'll see you then.
Bye-bye.